There was a very specific moment, one of those silent realizations, when I caught myself scrolling through my phone without really seeing anything. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't feeling. I was just reacting. Every swipe, every notification, every "you might like this" suggestion wasn't feeding my curiosity. It was hijacking my brain. I wasn't learning. I wasn't exploring. I was numbing. It hit me hard. What I thought was curiosity had slowly turned into content addiction. My focus was shattered. My ideas were buried under noise. My energy was always low. This wasn't burnout from overworking. It was burnout from overconsumption. That was the moment I knew I needed a digital declutter, not a dramatic escape from technology, but an intentional, mindful reset, a way to take back control, one habit and one thought at a time. We live in a world where information is everywhere. Screens follow us from the moment we wake up to the second we fall asleep. Phones, laptops, tablets, even our fridges demand our attention. But our brains weren't built for this kind of constant stimulation. We evolved to focus on one meaningful task, to rest between periods of effort and to be present in our environment. Now we bounce from app to app, video to article, tweet to notification, each switch giving us a microdose of dopamine. It feels good, but it comes at a cost. The more we switch, the more we teach our brains that distraction is rewarding. Overstimulation becomes the new normal. You wake up and grab your phone instantly. You play videos in the background of everything. You multitask to the point where no task gets your full attention. You feel foggy, tired, overwhelmed. But instead of blaming the system, you blame yourself. And the most dangerous part, you don't even notice how much you're consuming, because passive consumption feels like doing nothing. But mentally, it's one of the heaviest loads of all. Before I could fix anything, I had to recognize the signs. And they were everywhere. I couldn't get through a chapter in a book without reaching for my phone. I couldn't sit in silence. I needed music, videos, something, anything to fill the space. My thoughts felt scattered like static. I forgot ideas, almost as fast as I had them. I was constantly busy but rarely satisfied. None of this meant I was broken. These were signs of cognitive exhaustion, symptoms of a mind oversaturated with input and undernourished in stillness. I wasn't just tired. I was digitally malnourished. So I made a plan. I didn't quit the internet. I didn't throw my phone into a lake. I didn't go live in a cabin. I made 3 changes. Simple, small, and consistent. First, I stopped opening social apps by default. I removed them from my home screen, logged out, made them harder to reach. I broke the loop. If I wanted to open something, I had to consciously decide. That pause, that moment of awareness helped me ask, do I actually want this? Or am I just escaping? Most of the time, the answer was, I'm just bored. Second, I created offline hours, not for productivity, but for boredom. Hours where I didn't use a screen, not even for music. Sometimes I walked, sometimes I stared out the window, sometimes I journaled, sometimes I did absolutely nothing. These moments, free from input, gave my thoughts space to breathe. I started to think again. Real thoughts, not recycled content. I remembered things. I noticed ideas. I felt like myself. Third, I made a rule. If I consume, I must create. If I watch a video, I write a note. If I read something, I sketch something. It doesn't have to be big, just something. Anything that turns input into output. This was the balance I needed. It gave me back a sense of purpose. I stopped being a passive receiver and started becoming an active participant in my own mind. The first week felt strange. I felt disconnected, like I was missing something. I kept reaching for my phone out of habit, but slowly that urge faded. My mind calmed down. My focus returned. I could read again. I could think in full sentences. I could listen without interrupting myself with a scroll. I had original ideas again, not recycled thoughts, but ones that came from silence. My mind felt like a room that had finally been aired out and cleaned. It felt like mine again. And here's the thing. I didn't quit the internet. I didn't delete all my apps. I just took the steering wheel back. I made space between the noise. And in that space, I found clarity. If you're feeling scattered, foggy, uninspired, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the overload. You don't need to vanish from the digital world, but you do need to redesign how you live in it. Try this for 1 week. Audit your consumption. Create a gap between input and output. Schedule time to be bored. Reconnect with the part of you that exists beneath the scroll, because your focus is your power. And your mind, your brilliant, creative, wildly curious mind, deserves better than